At long last, I have become one of the... Ah! Welcome to KIllco Whiskey Musings. My name is Brian, and box is empty, don't freak out. Knowing I was going to do that joke, however, I am terrified about touching this bottle. If you happen to have this whiskey, I hope you'll join me in this tasting experience. If not, please pour one of your favorite whiskeys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. There it is, folks. Comes in its own bag. No idea why, but you know, that's cute. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's pretty. This is the holy hand grenade of bourbon, if you weren't aware.
We have the holy hand grenade.
Yes, of course!
Apparently things are more important if you make them in cursive. This was dumped on 7/13/21 from barrel number 709. Stored in warehouse H, I think. Wow, this handwriting is kind of funky. On Rick number 30. Traditionally selected, filtered, and bottled by hand at 93 proof. These are also highly sought after because of the little horsey on top. As much as I'd like this to focus on the top of the bottle and the horse, it won't. There's a T. We have a T right here. T. Thing of note, for the opening of the bottle, there are two little pulley things. I'm going to put this down and pull them both at the same time and hope that works. There's nothing. Whew. And from that, we learn never tempt fate. Came right off. See how the cork pop is going to be on this. I know I did a video about a mini Blantons I got. I'm going to post it up here. I was not in the greatest state of mind since I just lost my pet Max recently, so be warned. But I remember it made a tiny little pop noise. So here we go. I don't trust my left hand, just so we're clear. Yep, that was a weird noise. Ooh, I smelled the bourbon though. Ooh. I also still have little mini Blantons because it's adorable. And if you've been watching these videos, or if you're new to the channel, this is the anniversary bottle. And I was donated this recently by Cliff. Thank you, Cliff, once again. You are a legend. Okay. Yep, that's an anniversary pour. 2 years of making YouTube whiskey content. Thank you all who have joined me on this wild ride. Because of the metal piece on the top, this is actually a very heavy cork. Probably fling this at someone. You wouldn't want to do that. We begin with the color. We're actually right around this area, I'd say. A nice orange, amber, if you will. Don't forget to drink more bourbon. We are going to look at the appearance now. Color. This is amber, certainly. Clarity. It is clear. Sediments. None. I don't see any anyway. We always have to check really close. Viscosity. This does have legs. I just twirled around and they are everywhere. They're pretty quick, but there are a lot of them. I'm looking forward to this. I really am looking forward to this. I know it's Blanton's. I know there's a lot of stuff about Blanton's, but I seem to enjoy Buffalo Trace products. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, you like Buffalo Trace. What's wrong with that? Well, nothing's wrong with that, except there are a lot of people out there who decided that Buffalo Trace products were going to be ridiculously priced occasionally. I have actually seen with my own eyes Blanton's bottles, such as the one I now have, for $100. The MSRP on a bottle of single barrel Blanton's, at least, is around $65. So how much it should cost? And unfortunately, with Buffalo Trace products in particular, there are a lot of people who buy them up and then sell them for inflated prices, and it sucks. Let's get down to drinking the whiskey now, because anniversary pour. Again, I want to drink the whiskey. Begin nosing technique. Ooh, sweet caramel and brown sugar. That shouldn't surprise me at all. I'm so thirsty all of a sudden. I don't know what's happening. Good deal of cinnamon on this. I'm getting something I typically get off Eagle Rare. Some people call it a grape note, and we're talking a fake grape. And for the record, I do like that. In the Eagle Rare, and of course, Eagle Rare is a product made by Buffalo Trace, so maybe this will be similar. Ah, there we go. That's something I was looking for, or hoping I would find. Creme brulee, a favorite dessert of mine, and it just sparked that memory while I was nosing on the whiskey. Alright, basic bourbon notes all around. Let's go into phase 2 of our nosing experience. Intensity, 2. Age, moderate? Question mark? Barrel is new oak. Grain is corn. Certainly. One of those things I should have looked up. What is the mash bill? I have a lot of Buffalo Trace stuff. Because I like it, of course. Smoke, I'm going to say there's none on here. Spice, cinnamon, certainly. I know there's got to be something else. Possible a little bit of a leather note. Floral, I do not feel this is a floral bourbon. Wine, there are no wines used in making this bourbon. Fruit, we did say grape. I'd stick with that. It's not as prominent now. I've let it air out a little bit. Okay. I could be convinced of a little bit of orange zest. No sulfur, no peat. On to earth. For the most part, I'm just getting oak or wood. Time for the palate. Oh, that's some burning right there. Right about here. Hi, John. Sorry. If anyone is unaware, this is Pizza John. First sip we just enjoy. Second sip is where we try to get a little more out of it. Not too sweet. Tongue tingles. Texture's okay. Ooh, spicy near the finish. Not severe. We're talking light prickles on the tongue. I don't like saying this, but the thought that came to mind after I took my second sip there was, it's rather unremarkable but tasty bourbon. It is perfectly fine as a bourbon, but considering what people do to try to get these, I'll never understand. I should say that I believe this would be very good at a higher proof. Caramel, sweet, a hint of oak. Not really drying my tongue out after the third sip. Now keep in mind these are single barrels. However, I feel like when they pick these, they are looking for the middle-of-the-road bourbon. And I fully admit that I went into doing this as I'm going to try this, and I know it's not going to be much of anything. So keep that in mind. However, I also picked this as my 2-year anniversary bottle. Now, do not get me wrong. I enjoy this whiskey. I enjoy this bourbon. I would pour this as a beginner bourbon because it's so friendly and non-abrasive. The proof is right. The sweetness is just fine. There's a little bit of a dry note. The smell of it's very nice, although it's nothing crazy. So if you're someone like me who's looking for something a little different, a little more out of their bourbons, this will not hit that point. And again, single barrel. So this specific barrel, palate phase 2. I'm stuck on the palate already with just flavor because it doesn't quite fit any of those. It's not particularly sweet, it's not particularly salty, nor sour, nor bitter, nor umami. I suppose I just have to default to sweet, but the spiciness, although not extreme, kind of takes over in the middle. Proof is 2. I've mentioned many times I have a specific way of doing this with the proofs. We have low is 40%, 2 is around 45%, 3 is 50%, 4 is over 55%, and high is 60 and above. Body. 3. Body is 3. Texture, admittedly, is actually one of the things I like about it. I would say it's creamy, funny enough. Not too creamy, not like you're drinking actual cream. Almost silky. Balance, does any element dominate? If yes, what? It's kind of spicy in the middle. Not like tongue-tingly spicy to the extreme, but it's noticeable, and it's on the finish as well, so it lasts a while. Cinnamon-ish. The finish on this, I kind of want to say long. It's this spicy, slightly dry, tingly sensation that just keeps going. It's going right now, and I took a sip a minute ago. And complexity on this, I really hate to say this, but it's fairly low, but I'm going to say 2 just to be nice. It does have your standard bourbon notes, but other than the little spiciness and the long finish, there's not a heck of a lot here. For me, for right now, as I'm recording this video. Maybe a whole different animal tomorrow when I plan on pouring it again. And now I'll read you this that came with the bottle. Time to engage my bourbon voice. The finest bourbon in the world comes from a single barrel, never blended with whiskey from any other barrel. Bourbon's peak maturity varies from barrel to barrel, and only a master distiller can determine the exact amount of the whiskey has been aged to perfection and deemed worthy of the Blanton's label, which means no barrel of Blanton's is ready until it's truly ready. Colonel Albert B. Blanton's time-honored tradition lives on today through the handful of barrels from the center of the warehouse H that are selected to become Blanton's single-barrel bourbon. This sour mash bourbon whiskey has body, bouquet, and character unrivaled by any other. This is the original single-barrel bourbon whiskey. I'll believe that for a second. And finally, let's wrap this up. Now, I've gone to the website that was listed on said piece of thing, and here is the depth and detail at which they've gone into their special single-barrel bourbon. Kid you not. The nose, vanilla. Wait. The palate, citrus, and oak. To be fair, I'm going to read the little blip that is located underneath all this. Original single barrel, taken from the center cut of middle sections of the famous Warehouse H, Blanton's original single barrel was once designated for ambassadors, dignitaries, and Colonel Blanton's family and friends. That's a great story to make any type of whiskey seem that it should be worth more. Today, everyone has access to the world's first single-barrel bourbon. The taste profile is sweet, with notes of citrus and oak. As I said, the creamy vanilla nose is teased with caramel and butterscotch, all underscored by familiar baking spices such as clove, nutmeg, or cinnamon. I was very tempted to say clove, but I've said clove so many damn times. Blanton's originals set the standard for single-barrel bourbon in 1984. Best served neat or on the rocks. Bottled at 46.5 alcohol by volume. What I should say here is that there is a Blanton's Gold and a Blanton's Straight from the Barrel. I would love to try either of those, but knowing what has happened with Blanton's, that may not happen. But there might be someone out there who would be willing to part with the tipple from each of those very special bourbon bottles. To make this video just a little longer, I did go to the Buffalo Trace Distillery website as well, and what they say about this bourbon: tasting notes, a deep satisfying nose of nutmeg and spices, powerful dry vanilla notes in harmony with hints of honey amid strong caramel and corn, a medium finish composed of returning corn and nutmeg flavors. I still haven't solidified the idea of nutmeg, so I'll just add nutmeg to the list of many different spices I should try at some point. There you have it, folks. That is for all the taters out there. Please remember to like and subscribe. And I do streams, typically on Fridays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And as always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome, and I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KIllco Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.